Hi, new you people. So, hey, we're going to put together a video to show you how to properly take care of your artificial nails so that you can possibly get them off on your own at home with regular store-bought stuff. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the things I bought. And I bought this polish remover that I'm going to take a picture of and show it to you. The back of it actually has that it says do not use on artificial nails. Well, that means because it will soften the acrylic and soften any kind of acrylic product. It will also remove glue. It will also soften the tip product that is just made out of plastic. So it'll soften and remove that as well. The other thing is these files, which I found at the store, most of them. Well, this one I found in my drawer in the bedroom. But I'm trying not to use anything that would have been something that I actually have at the salon. This is all stuff that I bought at a drugstore locally. For each one of these files was about $1.50. I think ultimately for one person using it, this is probably the best file out of the group for $1.50 because it has a coarse, a medium fine, and a fine, and it tells you exactly which one you need to use because a lot of people get confused about the grits that are involved in emery board and how coarse they will be on the nail. So I really think this is probably the one we're going to open up and use first. These other things, these are things that I had at home, just regular toenail clippers. These ones are probably more like what I would expect you to probably use or have. Let me see if I can get a good picture of the end of this. See, it's more flat across the end of it. Like right here, this is very flat. Whereas this other set is more curved. So that curve is going to make things a little more difficult. And I'll explain that to you in a minute too. Trying to get it to focus. It just doesn't seem to want to. So the other thing is, I always have a pair of nippers in my purse because I can't stand my little hangnails sticking out. So I always have these. And sometimes some of you guys have these at home too. I don't like for my clients to have these because often they cause themselves damage when they do. But this would actually help really well to trim your nails as well. Most people think that you would just cut your nail off and it would be okay, but it's not a good idea to just cut it right off. That is an orangewood stick. This, just a little piece of beechwood or orangewood stick. That will help to remove the softened material or the softened product. We've got some, of course, Dunkin' napkins. And we have a glass that we're going to put the acetone polish remover into, or you could use actually just regular pure acetone if you wanted to, but personally I would prefer that you actually added a little bit of an oil to it. Even if you just added straight old cooking oil, some kind of oil is going to help nourish the nail just a little bit more. And then once the nail is actually off, then you could use the petroleum jelly, which was about $1.85 or so. And if you don't have that, or you might have cuticle oil, that's always a good thing to do too. All right, so here we go. I opened up this file because I like it the best, and I think that it's going to be the easiest one for most people to use because it has the different grits already named out for you, what's softer and what's coarser. Abigail's going to try and help me here and actually show you the difference. I have my my large toenail clippers. That's what these are. This is the curve set, which I don't necessarily recommend, and I'll tell you why. I'll show you. She's going to hold her hand up here so I can pretend that I'm going to do it. Where's your finger at? There you are. This is hard because I'm trying to hold the camera. See, so when I hold it in this direction, can you point at where the V is, like the way that it goes? The way that, there, she's going to use that. The way that that blade curves is the way that your nail is going to break. So if I'm holding it straight across like this, that curve is going to cause it to come and split all the way down into your into your meat of your nail. You don't want that. You don't want to take big bites with it either. You want to take little tiny bites. So it's much better like with the flat set that I had showed you that's like this, because you're less likely to get it to go in that, you know, curved backwards direction. It's better that it would be easier for you to go this way, because I would rather see it split towards the tip than anything else. If you have longer nails and you're going to cut them pretty short and you're not sure how it's going to go, start at the very tip. Take a little bite off the tip and see what happens to it. You know, I can't even.
Here.
Yeah, I cut it off. See where it went? It went towards her tip. Okay, so now I can actually, I'm going to give the stuff over to her and I'm going to let her show you how we do the rest of this. Okay, here we go. So she's going to angle it so that it is cutting away again, so that that blade is going to go towards her free edge and not towards the back of your nail. Those nails are thick.
Oh my gosh.
So getting some of that extra length off is really going to help some of you. You don't even have to, you don't even necessarily have to soak them completely off. If you got it into that kind of a condition right there, that's really not too bad. It's almost straight across even. So now she could, if she wanted to, I mean, see that you can see the thickness in it. It is pretty thick, but it's going to be easier for you to work with. So now where that file is, show them that you're going to use the coarsest part, number one, the coarsest one, and file it straight across or file it rounded or whatever shape that you usually shape your nail in. Make sure you do have something down on your table if you're going to use your table for leverage. Don't bend the file quite so hard. I know that it's hard because it's not a salon grade file, so it is a little bit softer than most, but you definitely have to use a little bit of force to do it. Just to get some of that off of there. How's it look? Is that livable? See, so we took quite a bit of length off. The edges are good. Let's see if we can get, there we go, better picture. See, it's nice and smooth on the edges. She doesn't really have any lifting in the back, so she doesn't need to worry about that. So that nail looks good. And if we cut them all to that, you would be able to use your typewriter, continue to do your jobs, do what needs to be done until we can get back to you. Okay, so she cut this nail herself, and you really need to take little tiny bites. So like right in here, you can see that's all the further, that's all the more she went into the nail with the pair of toenail clippers. And all the way across, you can see the nice crack that it made, nice and straight across. And off it came, nice and straight. Okay, so here we go. She's got them all cut off, and she has them all shaped a little bit. So, and you can see that nice middle one she actually ripped off, which is what we don't want you to do because it ends up getting very sore and very red. Okay, so it's much better if you take the time to properly cut them off and file them down a little bit. And you can see there a little bit of the crack in the end of the polish there. That's like her gel top coat that is splitting there a little bit. So now what we're going to do is soak these off. Now, for those of you that have gel polish only on, you can do the first part of this. Just take the coarse part of the file, the coarser part, this part, and scuff up the top surface of your nail. And then soak it. We're going to soak in that. We're going to use the polish remover in the little glass jar, because if it's not a glass jar, it will possibly eat it, and that would not be good. And go ahead and you can start filing, and I'm going to continue to talk. But she is filing through that gel top coat and through some of her nail. If you have hard gel on your nails, there is not a solvent that will remove that. So unfortunately, this is probably the only way that you're going to get some thickness out of them if you really want to thin them down. If you have gel polish on, you can soak off the gel polish, but it's not going to damage your gel nail. your hard gel nail. If you have a plastic tip under your gel nail, it will soak off the plastic tip, but it will not soak off the hard gel. The polish remover, the 100% acetone polish remover, will soften the acrylic. It'll soften gel polishes. It'll soften gel top coats and all of that. So, I mean, ultimately, I personally don't recommend taking your nails off because part of your nail is a little bit damaged. So we want you to keep it covered as long as you can. But if it gets to the point that these are starting to get loose, which Abigail's are not loose at this point, so we're taking them off and they're not even loose. So I just want to show you guys how to do it. So it does take a little bit of time, but once they start to get loose, that product, the acetone remover, will actually get underneath of the cuticle surface or underneath of the artificial nail surface and cause it to continue to lift more and help pull away from your natural nail in an easier fashion than just ripping it off. Please, please, please don't rip off your nails. We don't want you to do that. So see, now she's actually filed, can't see it. She's actually filed all the polish off. So that's not too hard. Now let's see, how thick is her nail now?
She's thick.
It's still pretty thick. You know what? But we cut a good amount of length off of it. And usually when they're longer like this, they're usually thicker in this point because this is where your natural nail is actually going to break more easily when you have artificial nails on. So we try to make that part a little bit longer or a little bit thicker. So that's why it looks like that. Not that we made your nails thick, but that it's supposed to be like that. We're going to go ahead and she's going to file some more of these, and then we're going to actually start soaking them in the remover. And that's going to take some time, so we'll probably time that and see how long it does take. Okay, so Abigail's getting ready to soak the nails off now. Go ahead and pour a little bit of that in that glass jar. You want to have enough in there that it's going to cover up your nails when you stick your nails in there. That's probably good. You don't want to use too much. You don't want to get it on your table. You don't want to get it on anything because it is a solvent. So, is there some there? Okay, so she's wiping the bottle off, making sure it's all good. And put the paper towels underneath of the liquid and then put her fingers in. You know, you don't necessarily, she doesn't need to soak that middle one because she's already taken that one off. It's already there. And in all honesty, to soak in 100% acetone, which is not what this is acetone polish remover. It does have some other agents in it and some water in it. So this process will take longer than the average if you don't use regular 100% acetone. If you use regular 100% acetone or this, either way, it is very dehydrating to the natural nail. So if you already have nails off, you don't need to soak those ones. It will dehydrate your natural nail a little bit and make them a little more brittle when you do get them all the way off. So we're going to let her soak for about 5 minutes, and then we'll come back and show you what they look like then. Okay, so it's been a little over 5 minutes now. So we're going to take these out and we're going to take a look at them. She's going to use this little orange wood stick and see if we can get anything off.
Ooh, they're gummy.
That's how they're supposed to be, a little bit gummy. See, so maybe about 10 minutes. See how, it's like I can't even see. I can feel how gummy it is, you know. It's definitely softening the product up. You don't want to pry at it. You don't want to push too hard. She probably needs at least another 5 or 10 minutes. Again, this is, at this point, you could take your emery board and file in one direction and get some of that gumminess off, or just keep on soaking them. Probably another 5 minutes, you will probably be able to get off your gel polish if you just had regular gel polish on your natural nail. So we're gonna keep soaking. Okay, so she filed these for a little bit. This is the second 5 minutes that we're into now, so she actually did file a little bit in between. Oh look, see how gooey it's getting now? You can actually see pieces of stuff coming off. And some of that old hair color and nail polish that soaked into the nails and everything. So that's how it should start looking. This is a time-consuming process. I do understand that, and it's kind of hard to really get it done. It will be faster if you use 100% acetone, but it will be a little harsher and drying on your hands and all of that. So it's worth taking the time and doing it slowly, because it definitely will help your nails in the long run. You can stop anytime you want to. Just file the gummy stuff off and give it a rest for a little while. Work on it again tomorrow. I mean, gosh, we're all under quarantine and can't go anywhere anyway. So take your time. Do it right. If you have any questions, call one of us. I mean, you know how to text me or call the salon. We've been periodically checking the messages at the New You. Call Kim, call me, call Dory, whoever you need to ask questions and see if there's anything that we can do to help you or to help you figure out what the problem is. So look at that. See, this is kind of rewarding when you're doing it, you know, because it's like, ooh, it's like peeling off dry sunburn or something. So we're going to keep on this, and I will definitely let you know how long this actually takes for her to get them completely off. And we'll be back, and I'll show you what you do when they're off. Okay, so she has done the last 5 minutes of soaking. So that is a total of about 15 minutes of soaking. I don't think she's going to need to do any more. And now I'm actually seeing that all of that red that's really on her fingers is from hair color the last time she did that. So anyway, that thumb's still pretty thick. She might want to work on that, but she'll probably do that later. But anyway, so here we are. This is when I'm going to explain to you now what all of this other stuff is for. So we have a plastic bag, sandwich baggie or something like that, and the acetone that was removed, the remover stuff. You could essentially, if you wanted to, funnel it back into the bottle because you're using it for your own personal use, but you do not want to dump it down the drain. You do not want to flush it down the toilet. You don't want to do any of that kind of stuff. So basically what we're going to take is we're going to take these napkins or these paper towels or something like that, and we're going to just kind of wad them up, stick them in the jar, and it's going to suck up all that stuff. Hopefully. And if it doesn't, we get another one. So, and of course it didn't. So
the color of the paper towels is coming off.
Well, okay. So here, put that in there. Not the whole thing. You need to get another paper towel. Get the paper towel out, stick it in there. Maybe you should get another paper towel first. Okay, so she's gonna grab another paper towel real quick here. And we're discarding of all of that product into this sandwich bag so you can Ziploc it shut, seal it up, and in the trash it can go, and that way you don't have to worry about it. And in the meantime, like, look at these nails that she cut off. There's some big nails here. Some really long ones. So there they are. Those can go in the plastic bag too, and that way you don't have any of this stuff just floating around your house. So now it's all there. Everything is being discarded. Now what you want to do is you want to take that petroleum jelly or that cuticle oil or something that you might have and just slather it onto those nails. Slather it onto your skin to help your skin feel a little bit better, because now it's probably a little dried out. I mean, it's already dried out because we're washing our hands 17,000 times a day. But, you know, just put that on there. It will help, you know, guard against, you know, more drying and all of that. And your nails will actually, you'll feel them. They'll almost feel like they're sucking up the moisture from the oil or the petroleum jelly or whatever. So do that for about 24 to 48 hours. Just kind of keep that on there and keep it soaking in. And then after that, you can get a good top coat, pretty much any kind of top coat you want. Wash your hands really, really well so that you get all of those oils and grease and whatever petroleum jelly off. And go ahead and put a couple of good coats of clear or something like that on the nail. Again, do not file that natural nail too harshly. You know, file it softly. You don't have to use the coarse end when you're getting down to the last little bit of your nail or the last little bit of the product that's on there. Use the finer side. Use one of the smaller sides that is not quite so aggressive, and so you can keep your nail in as good a shape as you possibly can. I mean, like I said, these red spots that I'm seeing on her nails right now actually are hair color from doing somebody's hair the other day, and not wearing gloves like she should have. But that middle one, even though I think that's probably hair color now too, that is what it would look like if you filed too far through. It actually would look kind of like that. That's why I thought that's what it was. But now that I'm looking at these other ones, she's got color like, this is crazy. So, so there you have it. The new you is telling you how to get your nails off. Not what we like to do, but hey, we're in desperate times, right? So we can't wait to see you guys again. All right. We love you. Bye.